It's important you understand that when you're framing up an interview or a two-shot, you understand where you put the camera to get the correct eye line and the correct framing. Now, it's normal human behaviour to when you're talking to people, you want to see both their eyes. For example, at a party, if you're talking to people, you want to see both the person's eyes you're talking to. And if you want to be rude to somebody at a party, you exclude them by not including them in your eye line. You blank them off by not looking at them. Now, the same thing with making a TV programme. That the viewer, who's the first person here, wants to see both eyes of the person being interviewed. It's natural behaviour to want to see both eyes. So it's very important that you frame the camera to see both eyes of the people who are being interviewed. If we now frame into this, our interviewee here, you'll see from where the camera is at the moment, we can only see one eye. It's a very profile shot. It's not a very comfortable shot for this particular interview. So what we want to do now is move the camera around to get the correct framing and correct eye line for this interview. We have now brought the camera around to my right shoulder. We can now see the person's both eyes. So in terms of eye line, this is a much better shot. But now it's important you think about framing. If you put his nose on the left of frame, this looks really quite uncomfortable and not at all correct. The ideal framing is for him to be in this position on the right of the frame, and his eyes should be on the top third, so the framing is nicely framed. So you have his eyes on the top third of the picture, he's on the right of the frame, so he has plenty of looking room on the left of frame. And this is a very comfortable shot to do in this situation. So we now brought the camera around to opposite side. You should have the same shot size, NCU medium close-up, so both shots will match. It's very important that when you're doing an interview, the shot sizes are the same, so they cut together very smoothly. It's a good idea to record the focal length of the lens you're using, so you don't get any change in perspective. And also you should have plenty of looking room in both shots. In this side, in this case, I am the left of frame, so that the looking rooms are matching. So when conducting an interview, it's quite a good idea to start with a two-shot, which tells the viewers exactly where they are and what is going on within the interview. You can then cut to the close-ups of the person doing the answers. You can then cut to the close-ups of the interviewer. The shot should match in terms of focal length, eye line, and of course, very importantly, the exposure. And then you can then cut back to the wide shot, perhaps for a finishing payoff.